Alright, welcome to that synth car. This is a tribute to a good friend of mine. Used to do something called Morning Joe, and I gotta get to work today to make some money so I can buy some synthesizers, specifically the OBXA. It's also raining here today, but I gotta put on my cyber shades because the future is bright for everybody in the synthesizer community. We've had a great week in news. There's been lots of ups and downs and drama and excitement and sadness, and it seems like the thunderstorm of Uli Behringer has brought about the floods that are ushering in a new wave of trolls. But that's cool too, because we like trolls. We love them all. We love trolls. We love the lovers. We love the haters. We love them all. But we did a video on Friday talking about the UBXA, and everyone seemed to be pretty pumped about it. I mean, excited is not the word. I didn't even see that much disappointment in the hater community. So I wonder if this destroyed the haters. Now I think even the haters might want to pick up this synthesizer because it's so cheap. And the rumors are that the UBXA-D, I guess, the desktop version, is coming out, and that's the one that's maybe going to be priced at $9.99, or a lot of people are even saying $8.99. So that's really cool. If we can pick one of those up for $8.99, especially if I can add that to my setup, or you guys can add that to your setup, that's pretty amazing, you know, to get such a powerful synthesizer. If you got a good controller, especially if you got one with poly aftertouch like I got, like you might have, then it's going to be a real nice addition to the spaceships of us all, you know. So that was the big news from Behringer. You know, we had a good week too of pedals. We had the ChromaConsole released by Hologram Electronics. Now I thought I was going to pick that one up. I got a little bit of extra cash came my way from working some overtime, so I think I was going to throw it towards the ChromaConsole pedal, but I listened to some demos on some synthesizers. It really didn't impress me that much, to be honest, yet. So I might have to wait on that one and just wait until a couple more cats in the synthesizer community pick that one up and demo it on some synthesizers for me to get really excited about it. If you guys have noticed this t-shirt, it's from the Caverns in Tennessee, an awesome music venue. If any of you have been there, throw a like down in the comments, because we saw a band there, a Mexican style band, and it was awesome. And it's, like I said, it's inside a cave. It's got really cool acoustics and lights. It was pretty awesome. I picked up this t-shirt. I think it was 26, 36, 46 bucks or something like that. But it did get approved by the accountant, so we added it to the edition. I thought I'd throw it because it matches the cyber shades. So that's kind of cool too. So anyways, back to the Hologram Electronics pedal. We'll see what happens with that. We'll see if we get it. We don't know yet. Samurai's got to contemplate, got to meditate, got to really appreciate what he has before he goes out and buys some new things. And then another cool pedal that got dropped this week or last week was the Chase Bliss Audio pedal by Chase Bliss Audio, obviously, called the Lossy. And this was a cool pedal. I love the Chase Bliss Audio pedals. They're just too expensive for me to buy. I can't really be buying $400 pedals. I don't even know how these guitar guys can buy them, but it's an addiction like everything else. And when you gas out for these pedals, Chase Bliss does an awesome job of this audio degradation thing they're doing, and looping and granulizing and audio splitting, delaying, reverberating, all that kind of stuff. And this pedal here kind of is a throwback to, let's call it the old computer, they're saying, the modem sound, the degradation of a modem, the old MP3s back in the day you get that had like that audio quality was slightly delayed. And I guess that's what people want these days. And I think it's this longing for nostalgia of the old days, man, because these days are too crazy. And if you know, I'm a little more subdued today in the cars because I got a few messages from the Samurais, and they said, "Synth Samurai, you can't go firing us up on a Friday afternoon like that. You can't be jumping in that car going wild. Everyone who's driving past you is going to think you're crazy." And I wrote a couple of them back and I said, man, crazy is normal these days. So I see people freaking out in their cars all the time. So I'm going to keep acting like I'm mad. But today's Sunday. We need to relax a little bit. I want to relax with you guys. So anyways, that Lossy pedal, or was it Lossy or Lassie? Lossy, I think, is very cool. It's got some audio features that, you know, having some technical difficulties about a thing to put on my phone, and it just doesn't seem to be sticking, so we're gonna have to go back to the old school style. Yeah, so that pedal's cool if you're into lo-fi music and getting that kind of degraded sound, and you want to like that little bit of nostalgia. That pedal's cool, and Chase Bliss got lots of pedals like that if you're into pedals. But a lot of people have been telling me these days that, you know, you can just get all this from plugins. I've never been a plugins person, not for any other reason, not because I don't like them, but I just never got into them. I like the touch and feel of hardware, the tactile knob turning is what I'm really into. But some people have been hitting me up in the chat and the comments telling me to check out Cherry Audio. They just released a new FX, or not an FX plugin, a new VST plugin of the old Oberheim SEM module, a mono synth, and they released that for Christmas, so you can go pick that up for free, and people are telling me that thing sounds awesome. And also people are saying that Cherry Audio, if you want to pay, I don't think it's $26 or something, you can get the full, I guess, 8-voice version of this, you know, Oberheim SEM module, SEM. So that's pretty cool. So I might give that a shot later and just demo it on that synth show, you know? I've been doing a few synth car episodes. You guys can let me know what you think in the comments if you're into it. If you want me to do a horizontal or vertical style, let me know. But I know a lot of people watch this stuff on their phones, so there's nothing wrong with a little bit of vertical. So we got the Chase Bliss, and then we got the Cherry Audio. I'm wondering what the real comparison is between software and hardware these days. A lot of people seem to tell me that, why should I be wasting money buying hardware when I can just get everything software? I'm going to do a video on that later, the debate, because I think the software is really cool for sitting down, maybe making an album at your fingertips. You don't have to be changing equipment and moving around. You can have everything on your like MIDI keyboard pumped into your DAW. And when you got audio plugins and audio VSTs like Cherry Audio's making, you can get some really cool sounds real quick and maybe not slap together, I mean, I guess people slap together albums, people spend years making albums, it doesn't matter, it's all music, and there's something out there for everybody. And if you like making music, sometimes you make it fast, sometimes you make it slow. It's like love. Do you know what I mean? So the teenage engineering bit that we came across this week, I've watched a few more people make videos. Midlife Synthesis just put one out, beautifully edited as always. His videos are amazing. I think he said the five reasons not to get it, or to beware, and then 5 reasons to get it. His 5 reasons not to get it, he only put fader gate in there for a quick second. Of course, his had no issues at all. Like, I think Bo Beats was the only guy who had an issue, and I don't even know if he tried to really, I don't know if that issue was him. I think he might have broke character for a minute and said he had a speaker issue, not knowing that there was an actual speaker issue with the product. So I'm assuming Teenage Engineering is not very happy with Bo Beats for that little slip up that was already posted. He might even go back and edit that out at some point, I don't know. But Midlife Synthesis, he did a video, it's a great video. He got some cool beats in there. Of course, he loves the product. Sounds great, sounds amazing, he loves it. Ricky Tenez put out a video. He said, I almost lost my mind or something making this video. They're trying to make a track on the Teenage Engineering EP-133 KO2. So I went and watched this video, spent, I don't know, what was it, 20 minutes of my life watching it from beginning to end, trying to find out where he almost lost his mind. And I didn't really see that he lost his mind at all, but he did get a little bit frustrated, but he didn't break kayfabe. If you guys don't know what kayfabe is, it's a wrestling term for people who are into the wrestling scene. When a character like Macho Man plays Macho Man, and breaking kayfabe would be when he is actually the man behind Macho Man, and you're like, whoa, that's Macho Man? He's not supposed to talk like that. That's what you call breaking kayfabe. So I think a lot of the synthesizer people in the community, they play characters just like, I mean, am I playing a character right now with these cyber shades? I guess I am, but I try to be as real as possible, tell the truth about how I feel about everything. And I think you guys respect that. And I think even the people who hate the fact that I might not like some products or like what some companies do, do, I think they respect the fact that I'm telling the truth, because we all need a lot more truth these days, you know. And for these synthesizer companies, they need the truth too, because they need to be held accountable and have their feet held to the fire by the most important people in the community. And I'm not one of them, trust me. I'm just in the dark corners of YouTube, known to nobody but you guys watching me, and thank you for watching me. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you do. But for the people that matter, the big dogs out there, hold Teenage Engineering's feet to the fire for what they just did with their latest release. They didn't give anybody any explanation except for the first people. And I think Midlife Synthesis was like, it's a big difference if you put out 40 synthesizers that are samplers that don't work, but 5,000 do. Or it's also a big difference if 40 don't work and only 100 do, or whatever the number was. I can't do the math anyways, but I think what we saw was a lot of them had issues, and it wasn't just like a lot of them had one issue. It was like a lot of them had a lot of issues. And I don't know what that was. Was it manufacturing? Someone wrote in the comments that maybe they outsourced to a different manufacturer this time to make the product cheaper, which is fair enough. And they didn't do their due diligence with the company, and they got burned by the company. So maybe this is a lesson to them to do a little more due diligence with their manufacturers, whoever they're choosing, to make sure their products, after they've been beta tested by their pros, are not going to come out all junky and missing screws and broken faders and speakers and everything like that. So hold their feet to the fire. I would like to see sometimes these synthesizer influencers do like I don't know, maybe I'll start a podcast. I want to start a podcast called That Synthesizer Hour, an homage to the MMA Hour or something like that, where, you know, maybe Bo Beats or one of these guys would come on the show, or Tiger Arcade, Midlife Synthesis, Ricky Tenaz. Maybe we'd come on and do a real chat, kind of like Joe Rogan does, where like you bring these people out of their element, which is 10 to 20 to 40 minute YouTube clips, heavily edited, everything pristine, and they sit down and they have a chat, and we hash it out. And maybe I'll be like, so Ricky, man, you let me know, Ricky Tenaz, what did you think of that? What did you really think of the EP-133 KO2? Because I saw that video, you said you got real frustrated and almost like lost your mind. And maybe he would get real for a minute and let us know why he really lost his mind about it. And same thing with the Midlife Synthesis. Maybe he'd let us know what the real 5 things were that are the reasons you shouldn't buy. So I'll tell you the 5 reasons you shouldn't buy the EP-133. Number 1, the fader's broken on a lot of them. So do you want to risk that? Number 2, the speaker's broken on a lot of them. Do you want to risk that? Number 3, the sampler's showing up with screws missing from the back, so it's not even put together. Do you want to mess around with that? Number 4, the audio MIDI inserts on the back and outputs are mislabeled on a lot of them. Do you want to mess around with that? Number 4, this isn't like a big one. Did I just say number 4? Number 5, there's software issues, but we don't really care. Software issues are fine. Just like when Behringer put out the Pro 800, everybody was saying it had the envelopes were too snappy, I think, and people were like, can you fix this for us? So they did a firmware update and fixed it. But it's not like people had to take apart their Pro 800s and solder them back together and do all the kind of DIY projects on this thing. So if it's a firmware issue, no big deal. But that's my 5 reasons for not getting it. I don't want something to show up to my house that's a piece of junk, where I got to take quality time away from spending with my missus, decorating the Christmas tree, putting up wreaths, going shopping, doing all the, like, retrofitting my lawnmower for the winter, you know, setting up security perimeters around the castle. I don't want to be DIYing a sampler when I could be doing, not when I could be, when I have to do all that. Because happy wife, happy life. And if you want to be buying synthesizers, you need a happy wife, unless you're single, you know, or happy husband or whatever, because women use synthesizers too.